Hello, Expandacraft fans. It's Wesley here, the designer and manufacturer of Expandacraft. The only place in the world to get them is right here in Panacea, Florida. Of course, we ship all over the world. We're going to talk a little bit about not only this particular boat. This is a 16-foot, 9-inch triple hull Expandacraft with a 6-foot beam. People ask me all the time, how much power can I put on it, Wes? Well, we started out today with a 80-pound thrust electric motor, got it in the water, and the propeller fell off. So we're doing today's test with a 40-pound backup that I had, 40 pounds of thrust. That's it. That's all it takes to move this thing as well as you're seeing it here. Remember, electric motors, trolling motors, are made to move a heavy boat slowly, not a lightweight boat fast. And this is a lightweight boat, even though it's got a lot of space. This one has a 5-foot wide deck plank. Of course, you can kick back the bimini top, but I'm showing that you can stand up in front of it with the trolling motor. You can actually have remote steering. That always helps. Yes, it does very well in higher winds and bigger waves. We're going to have some more video of that as soon as we get some bigger waves. And if you subscribe, you're going to get to see me do the test with the 6-horse motor, which is ridiculously overpowered for this boat. Might be okay for the 21-footer. I put the 21-footer at 8 feet wide, and that'll easily handle a 6-horse. Even though I put the 6-horse on here, it's just too much. I'm going to be testing a 2.5, and that'll be probably perfect. So subscribe and hit that notification bell, and you'll see those particular motors being tested out on this platform. The color combo that we have here is the black bows and the sand colored centers. Of course, you can have green, we have the sand, and we have a couple of other colors that we can do a combination of, and that's up to you. That's your choice. Now, one thing about an Expandacraft above just a kayak or a full-size pontoon boat is not only the storage of the boat, because you don't need a trailer. You can take this whole thing down in about 10 minutes and put it in the back of a pickup truck, and that's a major point of interest for those of you who just don't have a place to park a boat on a trailer. If you live in an apartment or a condo where you don't have a yard to park a boat, this will all fit in a storage closet, really. And there I am jumping up and down, just showing the stability. I'm way off to one side. And of course, you're just not going to turn it over by jumping up and down on it. It would take one heck of a wave or something to even get close to turning this boat over. Trimarans, catamarans have inherent stability over any kind of monohull boat. Now, one of the things that people ask me about these motors is how much is too much. Well, we've discussed that 6-horse motor is just too much. You'll never use full throttle, and the weight, everything that you add on the back of that thing is weight that you're not going to be able to carry on the boat. It's not a heavy hauler. The heavy haulers are the ones with the canoes in the middle, with my hulls as outriggers. Here we're going to show you what the wave-piercing bows do. Now, unfortunately, we didn't have really big waves, but you can see what happens is the bow actually submerges through the little wavelets here. These are about, probably not even a foot high, but even in larger waves, this bow slices through them, and then it easily slices its way back up. Not like a kayak, which has a lot of gear and a big, fat, proud bow. Once it goes under the water, it's like a break. And if you're going down a steep wave and surfing, and you put a bow of a kayak into the back of the other wave, you might go over, very likely. Not with Expandacraft. That's the reason behind having the wave-piercing bows. And this is just a little show of how high the deck is off of the water. So a wave would have to be quite steep for it to bypass the hulls while the hulls are still then coming up into the wave in order for the wave to hit that deck. That's the reason behind having the bows extend so far ahead of the decking, is so that they can meet the wave instead of the deck. Very, very important for stability, especially going down a wave. If you're going down the wave and puncture the back of the next wave, it's a bad situation in a kayak. In an Expandacraft, not so big of a deal. Let's talk about flotation or displacement. Now, on my website, I talk about the displacement of the center hull part, that just the center hull section single being 80 pounds, and that the bows and sterns being 40 pounds. But that's at 45% submerged. That means about where you're seeing the water line there, which means everything above that is reserve buoyancy or extra flotation, so that you can completely submerge that hull and have a lot of extra flotation. So that's the ability for the hull to come back up. But just for stats, I put a very conservative 80 pounds for the center part. That's each center part. And this one, of course, has 6 centers and 6 bows. And so you can do the math there. The total weight of this boat, if you talk about just the decking and the hulls, before you talk about the motor and the bimini top and gear that you'll put on board, just the bare boat is about 200 pounds, which is less than what I weigh. I'm a pretty big guy, but it's not a lot of weight. I mean, I know kayaks, fishing kayaks that weigh about that or even more. And so displacement with this, even though those long skinny hulls are very, very efficient through the water, they're not super heavy lifters, but they don't need to be if you're just carrying the same amount that you would be on a kayak. And here again, remember, this is only a 40-pound electric thrust, 40-pound thrust electric motor, which was my backup because the 80-pound, we lost the propeller. Again, check out our other videos. I'm going to be posting video with this one with the 6-horse motor, and I think the 6 horse is overkill. So I'm going to try a 2.3. I believe the 2.3 will be just perfect with a little electric motor up front, gas motor in the back. That'll be great for 2 people, plenty enough for 2 guys to go out fishing, or ladies as well.